Hello guys and girls, welcome to Canadian Immigration Channel, and this video is about an alternative pathway of immigration through studies in Canada, especially for applicants who are say 35 plus, who are looking to come to Canada to study and consider this as an alternative. Before we proceed further on, let me just quickly remind you, if you're looking for us to assess your chances for immigration to Canada, feel free to click on the link cictv.ca/go, and one of our specialists will be in contact with you and look at your complete profile and look at it with respect to your chances for successful immigration to Canada. Now, speaking about alternatives, first of all, alternatives to what? And we're talking about alternatives to professional immigration to Canada when you are applying through one of the express entry immigration programs, when you are applying through one of the provincial streams and you're getting scores through that. So if you're looking at the plan B and you're looking to study in Canada instead of, for example, going through an owner-operator pathway, which is definitely cheaper in my personal view than, say, applying for studies in Canada, still, well, not everybody is a businessman, not everybody will be a successful entrepreneur, so maybe studies will be an option for you. Now, if you're considering to study, well, first and foremost, we spoke about those basics before, you have to consider which program, what would be the length of the program you will be applying for, right? So you're applying for 1 year, 2 year, 3 year programs and so on. Typically, it doesn't make any sense to apply for anything longer than 2 years because at the end of the day, if you're applying for 1 year program, you will be getting yourself a 1 year work permit at the end of the program. Now, if you're applying for 2 or more years of studies, the maximum you could get is 3 years of work permit. So you will be allowed to work in Canada provided that you have completed an accredited educational institution and the program itself allows that. Now, if that's been done, so you finished your studies, what you could get as an outcome is additional scores in express entry. And reason being, I said for people who are 35 plus, right, I just want to give you a leverage how you could increase your scores in express entry and how you could play out in a situation where express entry, for example, scores goes dramatically up to 470, 480, right? And you want to consider your possibilities. You will be getting points for Canadian education, of course, right? But what if it's not enough? Now, in that circumstance, of course, I will be given a chance to work in Canada, and provided that I've done everything correctly and right, I worked for a year, for example, I am given a chance to add those points to my express entry profile. Now, if I want to add extra points, for example, 50 points or 200 points, depending on your position which was granted to you, right, you may want to talk to your employer and ask them if they're willing to apply for a labor market impact assessment for you, which is tremendously easier when you are already in the company, when you are working in Canada. So if an employer bulges and say, yeah, okay, let's go for it, right, you will be getting extra points. If not, there are multiple provincial nominee programs which are looking to support applicants who are studying in Canada, who got a job offer in Canada after studies, and thus giving you additional 600 points in express entry. If you're applying outside of express entry, those provincial programs may actually give you additional scores or points, if you will, to apply on the paper later on, right? So not necessarily you have express entry profile, but that's a separate story. So the point here is that if you studied in Canada, if you worked in Canada, right, there are multiple opportunities outside of the scope of just studying and working afterwards, right? There is LMIA, there are pilot programs where you could just employ yourself. For example, in Ontario, you were studying in Ontario, nothing would prevent you from going to Sudbury, finding yourself any kind of a job, and later on applying for the rural pilot. Now, there is a possibility for you to apply for provincial nominee program, and considering even this dire situation with COVID-19, provinces are reopening right now. Ontario is leading the way, and Ontario is taking applicants from inside the province and outside of the province, and there is a very good chance that you will be qualifying for one of the Ontario provincial nominee streams, and so on and so on. That equally applies to all of the other provinces. Every single province has at least one immigration stream for ex-students, if you will, for applicants who have got a job offer in the province, and that's you, right? That's the recent graduate who got a job offer in the province. So this or that way, you're able to immigrate to the province of your destination of your choice, if you will. If you got a job offer, if you studied in there are multiple opportunities and pathways for you to stay in Canada, because I know it's a tremendous pressure when you're 35, 38 plus, right? You're looking to study in Canada and your ultimate goal is to stay in here. Your ultimate fear, on the other hand, is that you will waste a couple of years of your life, right, after studying, after working, and you will be forced to return back home. Now, Well, our practice says that more than 98% of our students who are coming at this age, right, who were successfully studying their study career pathway and so on, right, who were successfully employed, are staying in Canada without any hesitation and much of a difficulty. Now, if you're looking for us to plunge deeper into your own case, feel free to drop us a line. We'll be glad to help you out. Stay tuned with us, stay safe, and subscribe for the channel.